Welcome to Coug on the Clock. I'm Gunnar Miller.
And I'm Kat Roley, and today we have a lot to go over. So this has been a long-awaited episode with Gunnar and I, mainly because we have our first topic, Hannah Pukas leaving WSU Volleyball and going to Oregon. How is that going to impact the Cougs? And then we're going to get into Cam Ward, and is he actually the real deal for WSU? And then WSU Basketball. The disappointment somewhat continues, but can they go to March is the real question. And then, of course, since I'm a Packer fan, Aaron Rodgers, is he staying in Green Bay or is he not? So, to kick things off, how do you feel about him leaving WSU?
I don't know what she is thinking. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. We'll find out. Personally, this hurts the Cougs very much, in my opinion, and I feel that's overlooked by Magda and Pia Timmer's talent. That will just be fine, and that's really uncertain. I wonder if our next setter will have a big impact. I don't know if they're going to put Argentina in that role yet, but we'll see. I still think we're a attorney team, 100%. And the young players to watch next year is Katie Ryan and Argentina.
Yeah, I agree. I think this hurts the Cougs quite a bit. I mean, obviously, Hannah is a giant playmaker for the Cougs, very clearly. She was also the play caller. I don't know if you noticed this, but when they were on offense, she would be the one doing the hand signals. So obviously she knows our offense, and that's not going to help us against Oregon, who's been a ranked team for a while. Yeah. But we do have two new players, Shay Rubright and I don't remember her last name, but her name's Brittany. They're both in Pullman now. But Shay I think she's going to be kind of the secret weapon to this team. She did go to Minnesota when they were ranked 7 in the country, and they did go pretty deep in the tournament. She's a middle blocker, so your buddy's going to have a friend. But I think at the end of the day, too, we should be fine. I think Argentina's going to have to step up because she is a setter.
Yeah.
She is a backup setter. She did fill in for Pia a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, we will be fine. I trust Jen Greeny more than probably any coach in the pros, NCAA, anything. I trust Jen Greeny, and I think Jen Greeny has something up her sleeve that's really going to help the Cougs out. And who knows, maybe she'll come up with the last-minute transfer I don't know. But I do know that Katie Ryan did win, or not win. She was on the all Pac-12 freshman team. So obviously, very, very, very talented player. Also very smart, 4.25 coming out of high school. So I think we'll be fine. I think at the end of the day, we're just going to have to kind of see how it goes. There's a lot of uncertainty, but I think if we have Magda and Pia, and if we can keep Pia healthy and that knee healthy especially, I think we'll be fine. Those two are the ones that really kind of get behind the net and attack, so I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I just want to kind of know it. We go overtime, it's fine. I want to know your Hannah Pukas, what do you think, why did she leave? Why would she leave something so great here at WSU? I just personally, I haven't come to understand it. I just want to know your thoughts.
So I think what the major thing was, Alex, don't you dare ring that bell. We're going to overtime. Anyway, so thank you. I think this was addition by subtraction. Personally, I don't think Hannah's a team player. I think she very much more wants to just play kind of like selfish volleyball, and you can see that in the way that she plays. You can see that with the backhanded sets that she does, or the left-handed tips. And a lot of the times, too, when she did those, they were out of bounds or they were bad sets. You could tell that with Pia when if the sets were high enough and Pia could get a good hit on the ball and a good angle, she'd be fine. But a lot of the time, she just kind of had to work with a bad set. I think at the end of the day, I think Hannah was a talented player, obviously, but I think it was all about Hannah. So I really think it's a addition by subtraction when it comes to that. I don't really think she was here for the team.
Yeah.
The official thing is she needed to go somewhere to get a better education for her master's, which is public relations. Go Murrow. That's all I got to say to that one.
Yeah, go Murrow. So.
But yeah. Anyway, we got to move on. So Cam Ward, is he really it for WSU?
It's hard to say. I did watch his highlight reel at his old school. He did have 72 touchdowns in the FCS, which is Still a lot, but just his play
That's
style,
statistical
I
inaccuracy.
just
That's straight up just wrong, dude. 71 touchdowns, not 72.
spends too much time in the just his play style. I just personally was not that intrigued by. He spends too much time in the pocket, rolling out and making these outlandish throws that are all underthrown, and just kind of basically gets them completed because their receiver burns the corner very bad. I know he's not going to have that much like error space at WSU, and he's not going to have that much time in the pocket. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I still hope the best for him, and it's exciting with Dicker at coach and his old former coach at offensive coordinator. There's a lot to look forward to with his playing style.
Yeah, I agree. First of all, nice truck, buddy. It's a really nice one. But I think, I'm really not a fan of his throwing style. I just got to put that out there. It reminds me of a baseball, and it's kind of low, so I'm not really sure how that's going to go with more of an air raid style offense, but at the end of the day, I'll let Dickert figure that. I don't get paid enough to figure that out, so he can figure that out.
Yeah.
But I do agree. His new coach the new OC was his former coach, and his coach had a standout year last year. And his old coach was a former WSU coach. So I think the coaching's there. It's just a matter of, can he become a D1 Pac-12 quarterback? Because Bo Nix is in our league now.
Bo Nix is in our league.
So
I still don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
I don't either, but like everyone thinks he does. So can he compete with him? Is going to be the real question. Can he compete with Bo Nix if that's going to be the new hot shot of the Pac-12? I don't personally think it is, but whatever. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for next season. I think it should be a good one. I'm really excited to see like Dickert's new everything really, because he's bringing in a lot of new coaches, and we did just get a couple really good recruits. So I'm excited, but at the end of the day, I really think that we're just going to have to kind of wait and see. I wasn't the biggest fan of Delora in general. I thought he was in the pocket way too long and just kind of collapsed it. But I think at the end of the day, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. There's not really a whole lot in trying to exactly figure out like, oh, well, if he does this way, there's no point. So I think we're just going to have to wait until kickoff, and I think we play Idaho as our first game.
The crosstown rivalry. That's going to be so exciting to watch. Never seen it
Game
before.
of the Palouse.
But
it's boring, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Last time we played Idaho, I think it was with Leach, and there was a water bottle got thrown in the air, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was an interesting game. So we'll see. I mean, it just depends on really what happens, but I hope their new indoor facility treats them well. So.
Yeah, I have one more thing to say. I'm just going to quote my buddy Trevor Junt here. He says the stats don't lie with Cam Ward, and that's going to be put to the test this year for sure. So.
And moving on to WSU Basketball. You done? Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, our producer's a little cranky today. Not sure why.
Anyway, WSU Basketball, can they still get to March and go to the tournament?
This year has been by far for WSU men's basketball, and I can speak for everyone who's a WSU basketball fan, very, 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 emphasize, very disappointing.
One more very?
Yeah, very disappointing. So we were built for March. All the transfers that came in this year, with Kyle Smith getting his contract extension, he has by far turned this program around. But all our players do not play as a team, and that's very certain, as we've lost most of our games on halftime 15-point leads. So they would need to win most of their games, and they would need to perform very, 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 very well in the Pac-12 tournament. They're still a young team with a bright future, but only time can tell.
I think what it really comes down to is, no. I don't think that they're going to go to March. But I think what the big thing is they have to find a leader on the court because they don't have one. It could easily be Noah Williams, but Noah Williams likes to go out and play hero ball 24/7, and it's kind of annoying. And all they do is shoot three-pointers that barely even go in. So if you're going to shoot threes, I don't have a problem with that, but just make sure they go in because I'm sick of looking at turnovers. I think another thing, too, is I don't think Michael Flowers, hello. I'll get to Ty Roberts in a second. But I don't think Michael Flowers is utilized enough as a player. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the Pac-12 and on WSU men's basketball team. He's talented, obviously very talented, graduate player transfer from Southern Alabama, and I really do think that if they just utilize him a little bit more, he'd be great. But instead, they just like to shoot jumpers and go for threes. And I'm sorry, but showboating doesn't do anything in the Pac-12 conference. You have to get in there, get the buckets, go back, transition, play defense, get a turnover, do whatever, transition, get back. Yeah. That's not what they're doing. They're going over there, acting like they don't want to be touched, acting like they've never been against the defense before, which is ridiculous. But COVID has taken a really big toll on this team. Really big toll on this team. I mean, they just got out of their second COVID protocol, so I think at the end of the day, if they might have had a full season maybe, but did you happen to listen to Kyle Smith's coach show the other day?
I got to listen to some of it, but I don't know the main details.
So basically, he's only had 4 players show up to practice in the last 10 days.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, it's really down to what does the team want to do, because Kyle Smith, obviously a very talented coach, but what does the team actually want to do? Are they just going to showboat and not do anything, or are they going to actually show up, play defense, and work together as a team and have somewhat of a designated leader?
We need to.
I don't care who at this point.
We need to utilize Evie Amborghini and Mo. Okay, yeah.
Give the ball to Mo. All right, moving on to pro sports now.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers, will he stay in Green Bay or will he leave?
Personally, I think he leaves, but there still is a likelihood that he could stay because of the improved relationship with the front office. You can never be sure, but interesting fact that just became news is that the Packers offensive coordinator was hired as the next head coach for Denver. So I don't know if that will impact any decision on Aaron Rodgers' part, but for somewhere, one of my buddies shaking his head no, so we'll see. But one of the best places I think he should go to is, this isn't a very unpopular opinion, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion. They need to develop a team. They have their defense figured out. They have their O-line figured out. They have their running back and receivers. They cannot afford to develop a quarterback right now. They tried that with Mason Rudolph. It did not work. They need to do whatever they can to get Aaron Rodgers so they can just be instantly a contender in the AFC.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers looks rough. I think he's done in Green Bay. He's had, in my opinion, an incredible career. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. But he's had an incredible career at Green Bay. But I think he's kind of getting close to his career being over.
Yeah.
I think maybe, I don't know. I think he might be close to done, but obviously I think he wants to keep playing for as long as he can. He's not Tom Brady, but I do think that he's not entirely done in Green Bay. So maybe it's another season type deal, but I think, like you were saying, I think Pitt might be a really good place for him. Not really too in on the NFL, so not really sure who all needs a quarterback, but wherever really, I think he's so talented that he can kind of go whoever needs a quarterback. But I think Pitt is a really good one. I think didn't Ben just retire too? Big Ben?
Yep, he just retired as of today.
Yeah.
Today, yeah.
So Ben just retired too. Big Ben just retired. So I think Aaron Rodgers could be that kind of like last hurrah in Pittsburgh. Gives them another experienced quarterback. Might give them another chance to kind of build up their quarterback draft stock a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, I think he's just done. He looks rough. He looks like he's not enjoying Green Bay anymore. I mean, it's cold, so I wouldn't either. But I think he's done. I think he's going to go.
It's crazy to think because he has gone to the NFC Championship and he just hasn't been able to produce in the playoffs. And especially after the 49ers did not pick him up in the draft, he said he was going to make them pay. He is now 0-4 against them in the postseason.
Yeah,
so that did not age well on his part. I just think he needs to leave, get a fresh start, and just needs to contend again.
I think after this season, especially too, with all the issues that he's had with COVID, and he's not been like the friendliest to the press, so I think he's just miserable. I think he's just done.
Yeah, he still puts up MVP numbers though.
He does.
So
I just think
he still can play. That's all we really need to know is he can still play.
Yeah, he can still play. He's getting older, so obviously like not as healthy, but yeah. Now moving on to birthdays. Happy birthday to Jackie Robinson and to my favorite actress, Kerry Washington. January 31st is very lucky to have you both. And I think that wraps up our episode on Coug on the Clock.
Yep. Have a great Sunday, Cougs.
I'm Kat Roley.
And I'm Gunnar Miller. Go Cougs! Oh.
Have a great rest of your Sunday, and go Cougs.